Hello, everybody. My name is Gilles Gallet. I'm Director for Autonomous Driving Solution at Ansys, and I will talk about autonomous vehicle safety through the usage of accurate simulation at scale. First, I will talk about the new methods, autonomous vehicle methodology to demonstrate safety. And then second, I will explain you how Ansys tools can support this methodology, which is called safety by design and safety by validation. And then I will give the stage to Dr. Philipp Reinich from BMW, who will demonstrate and show you how the BMW implemented Ansys for their first fully autonomous vehicle car. So what we do at Ansys is to consider the safety, and safety is important for autonomous vehicle. Ansys is developing and delivering the safety and simulation platform for our customer. And our customer can efficiently develop and validate autonomous software with the ensured level of safety required by their clients, basically the drivers. And here are some customer examples and you will learn more about BMW later in this presentation. But the way we are acting in this market is really to support all this industry with a common platform in order to solve this complex issue. Talking about the methodology, in February 2021, the UNEC, United Nations Economic Commission for Europe, presented the new assessment test method for automated driving, basically the NATEM. It's a framework which introduces multi-pillar approach for safety validation of automated driving. It is providing the key pillar, how to implement safety and simulation. And the framework shows how important is scenario-based testing and how to connect scenario with safety and how to implement scenario in simulation. For you as an autonomous vehicle developer, you have to build the safety argument, showing that the system that you develop is safe. How we do? We support this continuous development with safety analysis and safety management in order to build a robust design with a systematic model-based approach for safety and cybersecurity, supporting the scenario-based validation to demonstrate the safety of the known and unknown scenario using simulation. And then when you are going on the real drive, you can correlate simulation with real drive samples, but also extract scenarios and probability of occurrence that can be reinjected into the simulation platform for further testing. So the way we support these new methods is represented into this triangle. It's a three-pillar approach with tools to perform the digital engineering into your environment. So from safety analysis on the bottom left to the digital safety manager in order to keep tracking of the safety evidence, and then of course executing the scenario-based validation using simulation. And this triangle of tools is showing how to implement the methodology. So first, let's get in the Ansys digital safety management. And here on the slide, I just correlate what we deliver as tool from Ansys to support this new methodology. Ansys tool match and support the methods and framework, and it can help you and the different organization to implement this new standard inside the organization. So the first important aspect is at the design level, to perform model-based safety analysis in order to help to comply with the different functional safety, cybersecurity, and SOTIF standards. It helps you and the safety engineers to build an incremental safety case, and also because you continuously develop and release new autonomous function, you have to ensure that you are tracking the right safety activities and you are managing the overall activities. That's exactly what Ansys is helping you to do. And the customer who has already implementing this safety management tooling are gaining productivity and they are reducing cost. Now let's focus on the simulation part and especially on how Ansys help you to implement efficient scenario-based testing as part of this framework using Ansys tooling. Most of the simulation tools today in the market were developed in the past for low-level ADAS. Now modern simulation tools must be flexible in order to test software component or the software stack part of your targeting test strategy. In this view, you can see the vehicle software stack, and we basically identify two main blocks, the perception stack, software stack on the left, and the planning and control on the right. For each of them, it requires a particular simulation environment. For perception, it's mostly focusing on open loop simulation and physics-based sensor modeling with 3D world model of the world, where on the right side for the planning and control, it's mostly scenario-based testing and closed loop with maps and perception models. But also, it's important to have the full stack testing, which require all the components in order to deliver accurate simulation. And that's exactly what Ansys is doing, providing essential simulation technology in order to build efficient toolchain and certified toolchain. So the first simulation technology is the ability to simulate sensor inputs based on physics simulation. Simulating sensor is a must-have in order to reduce the physical drive. It enables to significantly reduce the quantity of real drive by replacing or complementing the recorded data from test cars by synthetic sensor data. And what we are learning from our customer is higher is the level of autonomy, more crucial is the virtual testing of the software stack, especially perception or full stack. And this is where physics-based sensor modeling is really important, especially going on hardware in the loop or software in the loop in the cloud. And such approach requires proven physical accurate sensor simulation. But what does it mean exactly? What physics-based simulation means? From our perspective, accurate physics is absolutely required, understood. It's mandatory for the development of autonomous car. And sensors like cameras or radars, even if they are powerful, have limitations. And that can lead to very critical edge case scenarios. Understanding the physics behind this sensor is vital to anticipating and mitigating these challenges. And by accurately simulating real-world conditions and providing physics principle inside, we can narrow the gap between virtual and real environment. That's what we call the sim to real gap. And using physics-based sensor models in virtual scenarios enhance the safety and the reliability of autonomous system faster and cheaper. And that's exactly what Ansys is doing. You can see in this slide different scenarios showing simulated scenarios with from different perspectives of different sensors, and that's exactly what we do by providing proven physics-based solvers into a unified multi-sensor simulation environment. It's GPU-based, and it enables to elevate the scenario-based testing capability to a level that was not achieved before. And these tools are not only valuable for testing purpose, but also for AI and machine learning training, simply because through simulation, we can automatically generate the sensor signal as well as the labeling. So this is a tremendous win of time. Now let's talk about simulation at scale. The objective is to continuously integrate and validate the software function against logical scenario variation at scale. We are talking here about hundreds of thousands of scenario variations. What we do is to enable the continuous evaluation of the performance and the reliability of the software function against this scenario variation. The Ansys simulator is open scenario based, is ISO 26262 certified, and it enables to optimize the scenario variation using smart methods. And all in all, it enables to strongly reduce the cost of testing. First, transferring the real drive in virtual, and second, to optimize the quantity of simulated scenarios to focus on the most important and the most critical. So that's what we see in this slide. And it's a demonstration of what is really unique to Ansys for you as a customer is how to perform effective optimization of the scenario variation in order to provide safety evidences for you to prove the safety case. The simulation helps you to understand the limitation of your system. It allows to detect the safe and unsafe areas to calculate the probability of failure of your software. And behind this, we are using smart methods in order to quickly identify the limit by doing few simulation on the perfectly safe domain and to focus the simulation on the limit of the function or what we can call on the edge cases. At the end, combining Ansys and cloud enable to go faster and at much cheaper cost. So with that said, I wanted to show you how we help autonomous vehicle developers with safety management using model-based analysis, as well as scenario-based simulation at scale, for you to prove the safety case and to put safe vehicle on the road. Now, I would like to give the stage to Philipp Reinich, who is head of data-driven development at BMW, and Philipp will tell you how BMW is using Ansys to achieve autonomous vehicle.
Simulation at scale actually is what you need when you want to develop autonomous driving in a safe way. Within the next few minutes and slides, I would like to present how we use the Ansys toolchain at BMW to test, to validate, and actually to finally approve our level 3 system. The main principle is depicted here. You see on the right side, we kind of virtualize our BMW 7 Series, which is the car where you can actually buy the level 3 system in terms of all the sensor models, in terms of driving dynamics, and of course in terms of the function that you want to test, so the system under test. As environment simulation, we're using GTGen, which is open scenario-based that we developed together with Ansys in a cooperation that we had over the last years. And to explore and analyze, we're finally using the AV Accelerate toolchain that Tony just presented to really see the results of our simulations. Among others, there are maybe two main use cases where we use this toolchain and the simulation. The first one is acceptance tests. You can imagine acceptance tests as little functional tests that a developer can really run on his local machine, but all of the acceptance tests are also being run when you push your code into the repository as part of the CI. For the level 3 system, there were round about 1,000 acceptance tests that we were using, and these were all linked to the original requirements. So by this, you're really making sure that your testing is fulfilling all the requirements and is data and test-driven along the whole development process. And the second main use case is the parameter variation. The main difference from parameter variation to the acceptance test is basically that with the acceptance test, you have like one defined scenario that you're testing. In parameter variation, you kind of take the whole set of possible scenarios around this one scenario. So you're varying like speed or distance to objects and stuff like this. And by this, you can, on the one hand side, test predefined scenario catalogs like, for example, ALKS or ANCAP. But on the other hand, you can also kind of find edge cases when you have like a defect that you found in real-world testing and try to find out if your fix is working for all possible scenarios around this one predefined scenario. So when I was saying simulation at scale, to give you a bit of figures for that word scale, in 2023, we were driving on our virtual roads more than 20 million kilometers, which is actually halfway to the Mars. I hope we'll be there this year, and I also hope we'll go back eventually. So you see, it's really a lot of simulation scenarios and kilometers that we are covering by simulation. And now, let's have a look at the result. Like I already said, we're having the BMW Personal Pilot Level 3, that's how the function is called, in our 7 series. It works just like the system that Jürgen presented at Mercedes, up to 60 kilometers per hour. You can take your mind off the driving task, you can do something else, you can write emails, you can watch a movie. And of course, the system is designed in a safe way, so it's handling all critical situations. For example, a close cut-in maneuver that you can see here, and also obstacles on the road. He's quite relieved, right? All right, like I said, available in the 7 series from now, and basically developed and validated by simulation together with Ansys.
Great presentation from BMW showing how they implemented Ansys into their simulation toolchain, and they are using it to perform and to validate autonomous driving vehicles validation. Thank you very much for watching this presentation. I hope you learn, and feel free to contact us. Thank you.
How do you build a champion? In this era of Formula One, it takes a balance of skill and science, adrenaline and engineering, a passion for disruption from the design lab to the pit lane, and the drive to not only be faster, but more innovative than the competition. Today we find ourselves an hour's drive north of London at the home of one motorsport team whose mission is to win and to do it differently. Join me as we kick off this journey with a peek behind the curtain at one of F1's hottest and most competitive teams, to explore how engineering simulation is helping to unlock a competitive edge and push the boundaries of what's possible both on and off track. I'm Miss Emma Walsh, and this is Driven by Simulation.